Hello guys, welcome to Bonquisitive Day. So today we will be talking about building a small project, but where we would focus is the end-to-end process. I won't go into deep, but I just wanted to highlight how when a need arises or when you have a problem to solve, how to go about it, how to build around that problem, solve it, and you can how you can basically deploy it to the world so that other people can also use it. So what we will build today, I'll just showcase. Before that, just let me bring this thing. So, what is required to build a small project? Let me first give you a very small context, and I'll show you one example. So, just a few days back, I was actually prepping for a business meeting, and I required, or I thought actually of printing some V cards or business cards, since it was a physical meeting, and I wanted to distribute it to the people that I would meet there for networking purposes. Now I thought that if there was a QR code, because now it is like everyone has smartphones with scanners. So if there was a QR code that people can scan and basically they would get my contact information, there's a free card. That would be very nice touch, and also it's professional. It's easy to connect and everything, right? So I thought about actually putting a QR in my business card. Now the someone asked told me that, oh, go to Blink, you can do that very easily there. I went to Blink, that is BLINQ, Blink, and they're a good product. That's a good product where you provide some information, you can provide your image and everything, and you basically create a card for yourself. There are some other things that you can do there as well. It's specifically for professional people, for teams and individuals, and you can do that very easily over there. So what they do, they actually create that card and host it in their own page. And when you basically generate the QR, that QR basically contains the URL. So basically, people would whenever they will scan the QR, they will get the URL, and that URL basically take them to the Blink URL where your card is hosted. Now, this got me thinking, why? So, this is a very simple thing, right? So, generating QR is nothing new or nothing fantastic, nothing novel about it. But we have made it complex, complicated, and not only that, but there are multiple points where we are sharing our data, and that is something that bothers me. I'm very like finicky about the security, data privacy, and stuff. So this is something that I do not like. Okay, so what did I decide? So this is, as I said, this is the context part of it. What did I decide? So it's a very simple thing, right? So I just need a tool that that can actually generate a QR for me. That's it. I want a tool which can create a QR code for me. What does that QR will contain? So QR obviously is a form of storing some information in a cryptic way, right? It's almost like a barcode. So QR is also similar to a barcode, or where you basically encrypt it in a way, and you need a scanner to basically scan the QR, so that you encrypt or decrypt that particular information, and then you get it, right? So the context part was over. I'm into the planning part. So how do I do it? What are the things that I need? So this is basically the planning part. In our org, I knew that this is a very small ask. This is a very small tool, and it shouldn't take like more than a day. And actually, we built in 1.5 day. If I consider like deploying and everything. So, what does the planning actually included? It included who exactly are we building for, and what are the features that should go into MVP. So you know what MVP stands for, right? So MVP is minimum viable product. We do not need a full-fledged product every time. Anyone who is into product development, they know that there's nothing called the perfect product. Every product has its flaws, and if you want to create a perfect product, you basically delay shipping or basically delay deploying your product itself. So ship it early, but still you want your core features to be there. So that's why the MVP term has come in. you need to have the core features that you want to ship. So this is minimum viable product. The core features that you think it's really need to be there. And who are you building for? The stakeholders or the users is very important. For this simple tool, stakeholders is not that important. But who are you building for? I was thinking about professionals who require. So we go to networking. So I'm also into research activities, and I go to conferences, and they are in networking sessions. Say, for example, if I'm giving a presentation, if I can actually provide a QR code, that's a very at the end of my presentation, it's a very easy way to connect with me or connect or providing my contact information. Similarly, because like people won't type it out completely, so that's the main reason. Similarly, say for example, when we engage in high tea or other kind of such small networking events. At that time, also, if you are just passing down your business cards, if there's a QR code, it's always easy, right? It's just trying to make it to another medium. That's all. Providing your contact information in a better medium. So, understanding who are you building for actually helps you to understand the MVP features as well. Okay, so this is what needs to be figured out, and I feel that these four you should figure out for any product that you're building. Even before you start coding, coding is actually very easy. I feel coding part is the very easy part. So that's why I do not actually put a lot of focus into it. Obviously, there are new nuances over there, but at least for most of the tools nowadays with LLMs, the coding part is much easier. And I'll show you the code as well. So once you understand like okay, this is my features that needs to be there, and this features doesn't have to be technical in nature, it can be business logics as well. Once you understand the business logic, the technicals will follow from there. And when you understand the user, your target user, you also understand or you if you even if you do not understand directly, but you can think or ask those kind of people, your target audience or target users, okay, if I'm building this for you, what do you actually need? And since I was the kind of user for this case, for this QR code thing that I was trying to build, I thought like, okay, what do I need to make it something like this? Okay, so that's why I build it like that. Before going to the actual coding, let me just show you what I built, and this is basically a free code. Okay, this is completely free tool. Anyone can basically come into qrcardify.netlify.app and you can actually access this. So you can see this app. So I think part of it. Uh, Let me try to yeah. Okay. So this is more or less the app. As you can see, it's very bare bone. Like I haven't put much effort into the design of it. Why? Because for me or I feel like for the target user, what I want a tool, a very easy to use, very intuitive tool to create or to generate QR for my contact details for my V card. And I do not want to share the data to third party apps, third party players, and that's why so data privacy is one thing. I do not want to I do not want anyone else to store my data unnecessarily. Obviously in some cases it has to be there, right? So you can't have it this way for all kind of apps. Obviously complicated apps need sign up and everything, but at least for a small free tool, why do we need signing up and basically sharing our data? So this is why the whole thing is happening client side, that is in the browser itself, in your browser. So when you open this app, basically everything will happen in the browser end. There's no data being shared, or there's no backend server to say. So you can see the whole app. You provide your details over here, and the keyword is generated. That's all. So, just to show you some example, and as I said, like I haven't put much into the design and stuff. It just should be very intuitive to use. The whole point of design and aesthetics should be obviously easy for eyes. You shouldn't use colors that are like too bright or too something that harms or that irritates people. But the other end of things is it should be just easy to use. If it is very functional, then people doesn't care about all these features, like, right? So just a simple dark light theme feature, but again, this is something that again maybe omitted for a simple tool like this. And you can provide some details, say for example the name, full name. Let's not give my name, but let's say let me give my company name, Bonquisitive. And you can provide a job title, let's say I think CTO. Company name again, Bonquisitive Take. Let's say you can provide some email ID, yours email ID. I'm just putting some random ones. This is not my real email ID, by the way. You can provide some mobile number, say plus 1 432 17650. So this is again not my number. Just randomly put some number here. And website URL again, it can be as simple as google.com. Okay. You can also provide your LinkedIn profile over here, just omitting here, but you can obviously put those things. Then there's the option of custom vcard. So these are just some fields that are usually there in a vcard. And what do I mean by vcard? It's usually in your contact book. So this QR should directly go to your contact book. So that's basically called vcard. Okay. So and usually vcards have some fields like notes or remarks and stuff like that, or there are some other things like telephone number, TEL, and stuff. So I've already included the email, like the important ones. And if you think like something else is required, say for example, note, you can just write it here. Like this is text, some value, some key and some value. Okay, so you can add as many as you want, but one is fine for me. Now the thing is, you can add a company logo. Okay, that's the thing that I also wanted, because for branding purpose, I do not want my logo to be like very simple like this. Or sorry, the QR. I do not want the QR just to see like this, but I also want to include a small part of the branding should be there. When you are basically looking at the QR, I just want my brand colors to be there, the brand color theme. Say, for example, your brand color theme is blue or wheatish, then that color theme should be there. At least that's what I felt would be like a nice touch. And it was easy to implement as well. So that's why I did this. And similarly, like target image. So basically, two things. One is the company logo. So basically, what we do is put the company logo in between. So yeah. So I just put some image, some random image. Anyway, uh, so it's a small image that I just put over here. And as you can see, whenever I put an image, it kind of came in between. It's obviously this is just a direct image, but usually when you use logos, it looks slightly better. And you can also like put like it's a you can probably put like, okay, I want a bigger size image in my QR as well. You can make the QR big as well, big or small. This visual size slider will make you basically do that. Now you can put some target image as well. Okay, so yeah, so I just put some image over here, and you can see like there's just some styling effects that we basically take from the image and kind of make the QR like that. Okay, and also like the logo is kind of embedded inside. So if you have like usually logos, especially in white background or no background at all or transparent background, they come out good. And if you have like certain images that represent. So you can just even put your logo, company logo as well, and that particular like whatever the central theme of that logo, color theme of that logo, that will be picked up. And best, and that's all. Now we have provided just one small question like, okay, do you want a V card or URL? So when you basically put V card and basically update it, so you see this is the updated QR code which has all this information. So if you actually just, I will pause here. If you just scan it, pause the video and scan it, you would see like all these informations are already there. And if you just put URL instead, it just asks you like, okay, there are two URLs provided. If not, then that's fine. But usually, if you can provide both like website URL as well as LinkedIn profile URL, so you can choose one. and basically put that into the keyword. As you can see, the information was like reduced, and that's why the keyword is less jiggly. Anyway, so this is the whole thing, and obviously after that you can download the PNG. That's the thing. So once it's generated, you just download it as a PNG file or download it as a SVG, or share your QR code. So basically that's all. And I just put a small fun. So this is more to showcase, like this is a free tool, right? Anyone can use this tool. But even if it is free, and say for example, if you are a designer or your company is interested to generate some revenue out of it, even if it is a free tool, I think one good way is, instead of like putting the user through Stripe payments or some other kind of payment gateways, where they would provide their all these information, the credit card information, they have to sign in and stuff. Before all of that, there's a very simple way of doing it. Is just take some input question, just take some information from the people who basically want further. So here I say, if you need a custom design QR code, or with, say for example, with advanced branding, specific shape, integrated artwork, you can reach out. And what I did is, very simply, I have put a Google form where I just ask for say some information, and you can just provide them here, right? So the main the main thing that I wanted to showcase in this application was, first of all, it's completely free, easy to use, it's intuitive. Once you see it, you can use it without much instruction. You do not need a lot of instruction to begin with, and not only that, the whole thing, the main reason that I actually created this was, the whole thing is happening in your browser. So nothing is basically shared, nothing is stored in some data server or on some other external server. Everything is happening inside your browser locally. So you are not sharing your data anywhere. So this is why I actually built this whole thing, to basically because it's a simple tool. If it was a complex tool, I know, like, it's required. But since it was a very simple tool, I don't think it was required, and that's why I built this tool. And yeah, initially it was actually for my own organization, Bonquisity. But then I thought, like, okay, it's just a free tool, it's a small tool, and we can basically put it to public as well. So this is freely available for anyone. You can just come in, generate your QR. Nothing needs to happen here. No fees, nothing, no ads, nothing. Okay. So you just come to this URL, qrcardify.netlify.app, and you can basically visit it. I'll put it in the comment section below as well, the link of this application, and also in the description. Okay. So just a small so I'll show you very briefly the code as well. It's not, so how do you basically code such stuff? That's the part that I want to cover, not the actual code. So once you have this context, the planning, you already know your target users, you have decided what features you wanted to build, then comes the coding part, right? And if you are technical, the first thing that you should understand is what's your expertise, and whether that expertise matches with the expectation, that is, whatever you wanted to build, whether that can be built with that particular skill set that you have. You do not always need to learn things. Obviously, it's good to learn new languages and stuff, but I would also say, like, that if it is too much time taking, if it is too much time, like, it's taking a lot of your time, you can actually build something in your own skill set. That's completely fine. But again, right now, with the advent of LLMs, the large language models, it's easy to build things, because you may not need to write codes completely. If you, even if you know, like, what you wanted to build, if you can provide that instruction very clearly in an explicit manner, if you can make it very clear to the LLM, then the LLM can write the code for you in any language you want, in most of the languages, most of the programming languages that you want. So it's not a big like entry barrier right now, I would say. Okay, so for this application, I felt obviously, so browser based or client based things. Some JavaScript is required. If there's some framework there, then it's always good. So I just use very simple. So I use React, by the way, for this. And so obviously you need to write a very simple HTML. There would be some CSS required. I used what is called. I used Tailwind for the CSS component part, and then React was used to basically create this the functionality of it. So if you know a little bit of React, so there's a library called Create React App, which kind of creates a boilerplate for you. So let me just showcase very simply what the code looks like. So this is again, it's kind of open source. I haven't put it, so I have put it in GitHub, but it's still in my private repo. I'll put it somewhere where it will be open source. Anyway, so I've cd and then let me open the VS Code. I'm not sure whether the VS Code completely is visible or not. I think it is. It mostly is, right? Okay. So yeah. So as you can see, this is like my project, the project root directory. So this is basically created with my Create React app. So Create React app basically kind of creates a boilerplate for you, and you can make changes to that. Okay. And the main application basically goes into the app.js in SRC. It's very simple. What I have done, let me make it slightly bigger. Yeah. So I use basically two, I would say like big libraries, Color Thief, QR code styling. So Color Thief is basically where we are basically taking the color from the target image, the main dominant color, and QR code styling is basically for the QR code. So again, I do not want to focus a lot on the actual code of it because what I feel is this is something that can be created by anyone. Now, you can, if you know how to code, then well and good. You can actually code this whole thing out. It's not that difficult to basically build. But if you do not know how to code, then you can simply use LLMs. There are a lot of free options available as well. Just try to explicitly mention what you want, what exactly you want, what are the features that you want, how exactly you want, and if possible, just provide some examples. I know, like right now, most of the LLMs are multimodal as well. That is, along with text, they can intake images as well. So if you have something in mind, if you can draw it, if you have some images of it, you can also provide that. And basically, then the LLM will help you code this thing out. Be patient with it. Obviously, if you think like, okay, such codes should be like can be written in 1 or 2 minutes, probably LLMs may do that in future. But right now, sometimes LLM can make mistakes. So even if we confidently generate some code, it may or may not work. You need to test it out, but it will obviously fasten your process of writing codes or building codes. If you know how to code, even then, like writing small things or repetitive things can be handled by LLM itself. A lot of people use Cursor, which is ID like VS Code, but it is AI powered. So basically, you use LLMs and agentic AI approaches towards writing codes. So those things can be used, and so that's why I do not want to focus a lot in the code. Obviously, remember when you put it publicly, if you are using it internally, initially we were actually thinking just to put it for internal use. In that case, just writing the app.js was an index. In the index.html, you can just write some basic this application calling and everything, and that would have been fine. But since we are also putting it to public, you should remember to also put public privacy and terms and conditions. So if you remember, if I just go back, you remember this privacy policy and terms of use. So those need to be there if you are basically putting it to the public use, because it's safe, because you need to like say talk about what are the privacy policies that the application uses, what are the terms and conditions of use of this. If it is public facing, then you should do it. This is a good practice. Not only that, if you actually want to monetize your application, so right now it's just a free tool, right? But say for example you are building much complex application where you are also collecting payments and stuff, or you have provided a payment link. In those cases, even if it is just a simple app, even if it is a very basic app, you need to put privacy policies and terms of use if you are taking any payments or if you are storing any data or anything from the public. If you're facing the public, you should put these things. Just a thumb. Okay, so you can put that as I shown you. You can just put it here. It can be very basic. Like in our case, it's like very basics. Like we do not store any personal information on any servers and stuff like that. You can just put those things in privacy. That's fine, right? And terms and conditions also, like okay, it can be also very simple. It doesn't have to be very complicated. Okay, so that's how you first of all write code. So this is like the project folder, and if you want to freely deploy, obviously if you host it, like you can host it in your own server if you have one in your org. But say for example, we wanted to, yeah, let me go to this part, the deployment part. So deploying is basically exposing your application to the public in the internet. So how can you do that? So if you have your own server, then you can do it there. You can host it in. There are so many options right now that I do not want. Like there are like the industry standards like AWS, Azure, and GCP. That's the Google Cloud. But apart from that, there's DigitalOcean, there's Vercel. There's a lot of options. Vercel and Netlify. Those are two options where if you do not mind their to be in their subdomain, you can actually make it completely free. Like hosting is free up to certain limits. They have like a very, I would say, good amount of uh, good amount of features can be basically you can get in their free tier. So I have used Netlify to basically deploy it freely, and you can use something else as well. So one and for all these things where you want to host, usually it's very easy. If you are going for AWS and you want to put it in an EC2 server, it might need some amount of DevOps and cloud engineering skills. But if you are trying to use this Vercel, Netlify, and similar kind of products, they're very easy to use. You just push your code to GitHub and you just connect your GitHub to the account that you have created in Vercel or Netlify. So once you have your GitHub account connected, it automatically will tell you, okay, which repo you want to build. And once you basically just select that, it will help you build that automatically. Not only that, it will also monitor. So it actually install a third-party application. Excuse me. It will basically install a third-party application in GitHub, so it monitors your code. So say for example, if you make any changes to your code and then you push that change and merge it, uh, immediately those changes will also be reflected. So basically the app will rebuild and the changes will be reflected in your application. So this is an easy, nice way to basically host your application, deploy your application. Okay, sorry again. So today we kind of talked about building a small project. It's not a very big project, but it actually tells us the overview of how to think about it, how to build end to end. Obviously, there are so many things that you can add, so many features that you can add, and if you have like a big team, you can put them. If you can basically allocate them into multiple functions and those teams will basically take care of different things. Like say for example, if you have AI or data science and ML parts, there's a data science team can handle those things. You can have front end, back end, all these things, all these complications come when you are basically working with a big application, which is like a complicated application which have lots of moving parts and stuff. But this is a very small project, a simple project. I just wanted to show you the end-to-end process of how you can build this. Such tools, and why I did this because, and why I'm making this video. At the end of the day, such tools are very useful in your daily use cases. like as I said, in my case, I actually created this QR and I used it for my networking activities. It was really useful to me. So I have some use for this tool, and probably you might have some usefulness with it as well, or you might have some other ideas about building some other small application. But probably you are hesitating, you are anxious that, oh no, I do not have enough skills to do that. So that's why I just wanted to showcase, like, it's not a very big jump. If you want to create some tool for yourself, some small tool for yourself, and not only that, you can use it locally, but you can also very easily deploy it and basically share it with the world as well. That is also very easy nowadays. So that's why I wanted to go over the process rather than just showing you all the codes and all the nitty gritties. I just wanted to showcase the process of it, the end to end process of how you build a small project, and hopefully it will help you. So until next time, see you and hope you have a good time learning things. Bye bye.